Hello, everyone. I am here. This is SF Benson, author of YA and NA Dystopian and Paranormal. Um, how's everyone today? It's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. We already have pollen season, believe it or not. I am so excited to chat with everyone, talk to you about my latest books. I have a brand new book coming to you at the end of this month. No, this isn't going to come out very well, but let's see if we can see that here. I just lost the cover here because we don't have an actual cover here in my hands, but I've got the ebook cover. This is Cursed Hearts. It is my YA paranormal romance. It's a story between a teen succubus and a vampire. I thought I'd put a little different spin on. Hey, Angelica, how you doing? Hey, Sherry. Cursed Hearts puts a little bit of a different twist on a romance story, because usually you read about the vampires like in Twilight, sparkling and whatnot. There's no sparkle in this one, and it's not a vampire and a human. It is two supernatural beings, and it's part of a duology. The second book I'm actually working on right now. Hey, Melanie. Yes, teen succubus and a vampire. You did hear that correctly. This is part of a duology. So the first book will be YA and the second book is NA. And in Cursed Hearts, we find out that there is a curse on succubus, on the succubus and on the vampire. So it goes back centuries, and it's something that they didn't really know about. It comes as a shock to the succubus and the vampire, but once you're in, it's like, oh well, we've got to deal with it. And then the second book, Blessed Hearts, which I am actually drafting right now, and it'll come out in in June. That one there isn't a curse, but it's about the incubus, which is the succubus brother, and he meets up with a Janaya, which is a female genie. So we've got Jinn and incubi, and then we've got succubus and the vampire. What events am I doing this year? I'm actually doing a few. My first one will be in June. I will be at Utopia, but I'm not doing any signing. I'm just going there to kind of hang out and see friends. And then signings will start up for me in August. I will be in Frankenmuth, Michigan, at the Once Upon a Book, hosted by Stacy Rourke. And then from there in September, I go to PennCon. For 2 days, I will be signing, and then I will wrap it up in October with Kalamazoo, Michigan, Great Lakes Book Bash. So that's all for right now. My family is hoping to have moved to California, hopefully by the end of the summer. So there may be more in California, but right now these are the ones that I have actually arranged for, and I paid for tables, so I'm looking forward to that. It's like last year I only did one actual book signing, so to do more than one this time could be very interesting. But I'm looking forward to it. Believe it or not, I have yet to actually have been a full-fledged published author for a year. Why vampires? There's something about a vampire. They're sexy. My guilty pleasure is watching the originals, and so I just love the vampires on there and thought it would be great to have a good vampire story. And this actually was part of a short story anthology, so I decided to take that short story and expand on it. And it was just there. I just needed to write about vampires, but I didn't want it to be the typical, oh, this vampire, he fell in love with the human, or the human fell in love with him. And so I had just finished reading a book about succubi and incubi, and I was like, oh my God, I got to do something with that. So that's why I ended up putting the vampire and the succubi together. Hey, Angelica. Oh man, I'm going to miss you. Well, 2018, I hope we'll see you then. No, you can never go wrong with a good vampire story. I agree, Melanie. Vampires will never be old. This is true. And that is the concern in Cursed Hearts, because the vampire, he was turned when he was 18, and he's been one for 20. Hey, Kelly! How you doing? Um, Victor, the vampire. He has been a vampire since he was 17, 18. So he's been it for 20 years. So he looks like a teenager, but he is no way in any type of teenager. But as he tells one of the ancient vampires in the book, what am I supposed to look for? Am I supposed to, go out with a 30-something-year-old so that I will be age appropriate? And no other girl has ever kept his interest for long. So this is a good thing for him. What's next for me? Well, as I said, Blessed Hearts is book 2 in the duology, and it's coming out in June. I also have revisions starting on book 3 in the Alliance Chronicles. The Alliance Chronicles is my dystopian series. It started out mature YA. This is the first book, Regress, and that's mature YA. And then the second book, Rescue, morphed over to NA. And then I just put out a novella release, and that is also NA. And the dystopian series takes place in the year 2025 in Michigan, in what I like to call New Detroit. It's like any Michigan natives out there. That's my hometown, my home state. Detroit's my hometown. So I wanted that chance to do something with the state, and there are references throughout the books. So that series will actually wrap up in January. The next book, Rebel, will be out in April. And then September, I've got Restore coming out. And then the final book, Renegade, which will also be a novella, will come out in January. At least I think it's going to be a novella. That one's Mark Carter's story, and he's pushing for a longer story, so we'll see what happens. But I'm really excited about it. I really can't wait to get to Utopia. Really looking forward to it. I thought I was going to be signing there this year, but I decided to just have fun. I kind of look at Utopia as like a big family reunion, and so I just wanted that chance to be amongst family and friends and just have a good time and not have to worry about selling anything. So that's what that's about. Plus, I'll have more books if I do Utopia as a signing next year in 2018. As far as anything else, because I still see is what is next for you, I have a new brand, Nadira Fox, Adult Sexy Romance. That will debut in August, and with the first book, Delivering Sin. So I already have a cover design for that, and I'm really looking forward to getting that done. It's about a young cover model who gets involved with this Egyptian guy, not realizing that he is the embodiment of Amun-Ra, a Egyptian deity. So that looks really fun. But yes, Kelly, Delivering Sin. Her name is Sinatra, but everybody who knows her intimately calls her Sin. So her mom was a big Frank Sinatra fan, and that's where the Sinatra came from, and then she just gets chopped off to Sin. But her mom doesn't call her Sin, of course not. Her mom calls her Cindy. So, but it is definitely an interesting story, and it was approved by my daughter. So I guess that works well. And she said it sounded hot. So I said, okay, good. So we'll work with that. But what I want to tell everybody about before we get too deep into this, I have a giveaway for Cursed Hearts. It's a wonderful little pendant necklace. Intertwined Hearts is the theme in my book. If you get the book and you flip through, whether it's the ebook or the print book, you'll see all these intertwined hearts. It's on the cover. It's on the chapter headers. It's at the end of the story. So I decided to look for a necklace, and that prize is going to go to one lucky winner. And how do you enter? The way that you enter is you have to show proof that you purchased the ebook. Simple, right? The ebook is going for 99 cents on Amazon. The price will hold until the end of February 28th. That's release date. March 1st, the price goes up to $2.99. So what you want to do, I'm going to have all the information, a link to get to the pre-order that will be on my Facebook page. That's SF Benson. you'll go to that page. I'll have that up shortly before 3 o'clock today, and you can get all the details. When you purchase your pre-order, just post your confirmation number. You can put the number off, you can show a picture, but just show me proof that you purchased it. And then we will enter you into the contest, and the contest will run until March 1st. On March 1st, I will select one lucky winner. So how does that sound to everybody? We can get a little wonderful necklace prize. Right now, I'd like to offer somebody, anybody, all you have to do is put your hand up, say that you like it, and I will get you a copy of Release. This is Asher Jones' story. I'm going to give away ebook copies. You don't have to do anything special other than giving me your Kindle address. You can send it to me through a private message. You don't have to post it here. But this story is all about Asher Jones. It lets you know how the Street Wars starts off, but it is not a prequel. So if you haven't read book 1 or book 2, you're going to really want to get those, especially book 2, because it kind of piggybacks off of it. But you're going to find out just what makes Asher Jones one of my favorite characters. He's not the jerk that he comes off as in books 1 and 2. He's got a lot of deep stuff going on in his life. Yes, I see the grabby hands. Kelly, Sherry, just go ahead and send me, and Melanie, go ahead and send me your Kindle addresses. Just send me a PM. It's SF Benson. You can go to my author page. I am at https://www.facebook.com/Benson, BENSON SF. Who is my favorite book boyfriend? You know what, Sherry? I'd probably hurt somebody's feelings if I told you. But I would say probably the very first one that I fell in love with as an adult writing YA is probably from Stacey Marie Brown's Darkness series. I just love those guys. I mean, they're sort of like werewolves, they're sort of like lichens, and they're just like, oh, so sexy. So, I mean, I still fangirl over Stacey Marie, so that's probably my favorite. If I had to really pinpoint it, because those guys stick with me. If you haven't read her latest one, is starts up a new part of the series, but before that is a book called West. And man, that guy is hot. Definitely hot. And Sherry, I think I've got some of your books sitting around on the shelf too. I've got literally books on top of books. My TBR is probably tilted at like 4,000 books right now. Trying to find time to read everything. I've cut back on my reviews this year because I've got so much planned. Hey Maria, how you doing? That's my editor, my buddy. How you doing? I've got a lot planned for this year. A lot of writing. Fortunately, I've got a lot of things that are already written, so I didn't have to do a lot of the writing. But I've got, let's see, I also have, outside of Blessed Hearts, I've got, of course, Delivering Sin that I need to write. And then I've got something for an anthology that I'm supposed to be working on that is due in May. Shh, I haven't started it yet. It's planned. It is a gender flip on the Cinderella story. So hopefully I can get that one done in time to make it. But how long does it take me to write a book? Good question. When I first started this back in 2014, was with NaNoWriMo, and I learned how to write a book in 30 days. It sure wasn't anywhere near what it needed to be. Thankfully, over time, I've learned I can rough draft a book really in about 30 to 40 days. Although Cursed Hearts, I will admit, it had a total rewrite, and I did that puppy in about 2 weeks. It was already written. It just wasn't where it needed to be. One of my fabulous critique partners, she read it and said, girlfriend, you need to jump on this and do something postpone it, do something. So I pushed the date back, and I got that done in about 2 weeks. Blessed Hearts, my goal is still 30 days. So this one should be drafted by the 2nd, which will give me time to work on the revision of Rebel and hopefully knock out the novella that I was speaking of. So roughly it takes about 30 days, 30 to 40 days to knock out a rough draft. Of course, it does take a lot longer to revise and get it done. But Sherry, yeah, that's fast, but you have to remember, this is full time for me. I quit my full-time job back in 2014. Didn't do it thinking I was going to be an author. Didn't think I was going to write. I did it thinking that I was going to get out of vet medicine and start working in the college sector. And then I found out, oh, everybody wants you to have a master's degree. So it didn't happen. My husband said that if you are going to do this, do it full time. And so that's what I'm doing. Yes, editing does eat up some serious time, Sherry. I've learned a lot in the past few months, believe it or not, about editing. So I have had books that have topped out. I've got one that was like 65,000 words, and when I got done with it, it was barely 50,000 words. So nobody likes editing, but it has to be done. And now I know how to write and kind of screen it as I go, like, is the scene really working? Is it necessary? Yes, my husband is very nice, Kelly. He's my CFO. I said, since he's bankrolling me, I call him my CFO. What's been my favorite part of being an author? I think meeting everybody. I enjoy talking, can't you tell? I enjoy talking to people and just meeting so many people. Of course, I've heard good and bad things about this industry, but so far I've only met really nice people. I've never engaged any of the backbiting that some people claim that they deal with. I like to spread good karma. And so that's what I've been doing. I spread good karma doing promotion of other authors for free on my website. Once a week, I promote an author, and it's their author spotlight. And then throughout the week, I'm constantly putting up other people's cover reveals and release dates. So I think that's been my favorite part of just really getting to meet people, because I'm not an introvert. Me working at home like this is really isolating. I love you too, Sherry. I really do. It's like, I still have yet to meet her. It's like, don't be surprised when I go screaming, ah! It's like, I met Sherry Ficklin. But just being able to touch base with other people, I think that is the best thing, especially about being an independent author. There's plenty of traditional authors that I've read and I love, but the opportunity to meet them has been very tiny. Just hasn't happened. Veronica Roth, she was in Georgia not too long ago, and I didn't get a chance to go. It was one of those, I need to pay at the door. It was at night, and I just don't see that well driving at night, so it didn't happen. So I missed out on that, but maybe next time. But I'm always up for meeting people. Like I said, my schedule, we want to promote me too. Thank you, Melanie. I will definitely check out Nerd Girl. Thank you very much. I love being able to get a chance to be promoted by other people. Of course, that's always the best part of it. It's like if you're promoting others and you're spreading good karma, hopefully it comes back to you. I won't lie. Of course, that you want that. But I enjoy getting a chance to make friends. And that's what I see this as, just a chance to really say, this is my friend. So when I tell somebody, this is my friend, yes, you are my friend. I consider you my friend. And that means that, hey, I'm your biggest fan as well. So, it's all about good karma. It's like we got enough crap going on in the world. You can turn on the news if you want to listen to that. You can just stay on Facebook if you want to listen to that. I'd rather not. I'd rather, minimize my social time and just spend it with people that I like and who like me, and enjoy reading what I've got to put out. So, really, that is, me in a nutshell. Yes, that is truth, Melanie. It's me in a nutshell. Anyone have any more questions for me? What advice? Stick with it. I wish somebody had told me that years ago. Seriously, I live in Atlanta now. Many years ago, we lived in Atlanta. We moved. We've lived in a few other states. But when I was here, I was dabbling with writing, and I didn't stick with it. And if I had, just imagine how much further along I would be. Um, I think that's the biggest thing. And to find a support staff, and I'm not talking about just editors and proofreaders, but people who can give you that rah rah moment when you need it, but also kick you in your pants when you really, really need it. Critique partners, just people who they got your back. They're not going to steer you wrong. I think that is so, so important. Hi, Christy. I look forward to you reading my books too. Um, yes, never give up, never surrender, Melanie. But also be true to yourself. And that's like my word for the year, authentic. If you're not being true to yourself, why do anything? It just doesn't matter. If you've got to be false about it, if you're just doing it to be the biggest kiss up in town, stop doing it. In the end, you're not going to like yourself, and people really aren't going to like you because they're liking this facade instead of the real you. I can't be anything else but real. That's me, you know. What you see here is what you get. Um, I tell it like it is. Like I say, I'm too old to deal with the BS nowadays. Um, I'm a 60s kid, so you do the math and figure out just how old I am, because you wouldn't believe it anyway. But I was born in 64, so, you know, too old to deal with that. Hey, Helen, how are you? I'm glad that you appreciate the live conversations. It is fun. It's a way to meet more people and to get other people to find out about us. So they do serve a benefit. It's not just me walking out in the parking lot and say, "Hey, girl, there's a car out here." So I don't do those. I'd rather do something that is beneficial to everybody. If you have questions about my books, please feel free to ask. We still got a little bit more time here before we leave. So we're just going to 2:30. It's 2:22 East Coast time right now, so I still have time for more questions. As I said before, with release, Asher Jones is my favorite character. I thought when I got started with Regress that True Shepherd would be my favorite character. She is reckless. She's a little spunky. Uh, she doesn't beat around the bushes, and she's a creative. Where can you find me online, Sherry? Good question. Outside of Facebook, you can find me on my website. It's author, AUTHOR, SF, as in Frank, Benson.com. There you will find my Twitter link as well. I'm also on Instagram. I've got a Pinterest page. Oh my God, I've got a Pinterest page. You will find my Pinterest page, though, under Chantella Huddleston Benson. Full thing. You missed the beginning, Christy. Yes, you did. If you were to start off with my books, it depends on what you enjoy reading. If you enjoy dystopian, then you want to start off with book 1 in the Alliance Chronicles, which is Regress. That is going to be a 5-book or 6-book series. I think it's 6 books. There's 2 novellas. Although the last one, it may morph into a full-size book, not quite sure yet. If you enjoy paranormal romance, I am starting that. February 28th is the release for my first paranormal. It is a YA paranormal romance between a teen succubus and a vampire. And no, my vampires do not sparkle, glow, or flame, okay? The book is part of a duology. So the first book will be YA, the second book will be NA. It is a little spicier because it is about an incubus, and incubi, they love their debauchery. If you know anything about that myth, then you would know that incubi, they have a tendency to visit women in their dreams. So women who have really hot dreams, you might have been visited by an incubi. Men who have really lucid dreams may have been visited by a succubi. So there's a lot of contradiction in book 2, and I am so enjoying writing male point of view. Never thought I would, but for some reason I do. It's like you get to be the jerk, but you also can uncover things, and that's what happened with Release. My daughter told me she couldn't get through the book without Kleenex. She's still trying to finish it because she's in college and doing everything else that she's supposed to be doing while she's there. But when I reread it, I was like, oh my God, I don't cry over books, but I definitely needed to cry on this one. Before we pop out of here, got about 5 more minutes, but I want to remind you about the giveaway that I'm doing. Christy, you missed this at the beginning. Helen, you may have missed it too, but I'm giving away an intertwined heart necklace. I will post more of the details on my website, but for right now, you need to know that what you need to do is pre-order Cursed Hearts. It's only 99 cents on Amazon. Show me proof that you have gotten your order in. Either do a screenshot of your confirmation or just send your confirmation number. A little bit before 3 o'clock, I will have a link posted on my Facebook page so that you can find not just the pre-order link, but also have a spot to put your confirmations at. This contest will run until March 1st, midnight, and then I will pick one lucky winner. As far as today, if you let me know what your Kindle address is, I will send you a copy of Release. Free copy. Don't have to do anything. The pre-order link, Melanie, if you go on Amazon, if you're looking for it for yourself before I put it up at 3 o'clock, type in Cursed Hearts by SF Benson. And that should pull it up. Believe it or not, I've been putting it in that way, and my book comes up at the top. It's like, yes! Do you ever write real people as characters in your books? Oh, yes. My alter ego is True. So I'm definitely in there. In Release, Asher has shades of my daughter, believe it or not. We lived in California, and she had her feelings about moving from California, and I reflect a little bit of that in there. Sorry, sweetie, I won't get into details if you're watching. Mommy won't do that to you. But also in the latest book that I'm working on, Blessed Hearts, for some reason I needed the name of a waitress, and I thought about the nun that I had in Catholic school. So Sister Agnes Charles, she's no longer with us, but Agnes Charles is Sister Agnes Charles. So there are little snippets of people that I have known in real life. They're in my book, so be careful. You may end up in a book one day. You never know it. You won't know who you are. Okay, so this has been real. I have enjoyed doing this. So don't forget, shortly before 3 o'clock, Sherry, I'm sure you can post it up on your website as well too, my Facebook page, so that your followers can pop on over there. But I'm on Facebook as Benson SF. Don't ask something stupid with Facebook. They wouldn't take SF Benson. But it's Benson SF. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today. It was fun. But now I got to get back to writing. So see ya. Have a good one. Bye.